Hello YouTube fans, back again. I'll do a review on one of my favourite warrior films, that being Deathstalker. Now you remember before me talking about videos and what taught me eye? Back in the day, this taught me eye, but it wasn't just this one, it was number 2. I ended up having to get number 2 by a DVD rip, because getting number 2 of this on DVD is like trying to find a virgin in a red light area. But this gets a lot of shit. It's considered a Conan the Barbarian rip-off. It's this, it's that. I don't think it's that bad. I actually think it's that good. To me, it's like He-Man if... I'm not on about the one with Dolph London, I'm on about the cartoon series. It's if He-Man became a movie in that same day, which funny enough it came out the same day as He-Man, Masters of the Universe, cartoon. And it's if He-Man wasn't made for kids, and in fact, bear with me, had that rating on it, you can see it there, had the 18 rating. What would He-Man be like if they made it for adults and not for kids? And it's definitely not for kids. I remember back in the day when I rented it on video, the looks my mum and dad giving me, because for one, you get the start up, you've got these guys running about, this one guy looks like he's gonna rape a woman, the warrior comes out, massacres all the bad guys and basically shags a woman. Tits, nudity, the lot. It was like common in them days for them type of adventure films. The guy, who's a warrior, is named from the film Deathstalker, and he gets sent on a mission to save a beautiful princess, which funny enough was played by a girl you might remember in the early 80s being a Playboy bunny girl, so she definitely wasn't shy at ripping them out. He meets a couple of people on the way who are warriors like him, who want to go to a tournament to meet the bad guy, the one who is sent to destroy. Shags a warrior woman who, funny enough, 2 years later appeared in kind of a warrior film called Barbarian Queen. So there's no one that wasn't shy at ripping them out. May she rest in peace, as I heard she's no longer with us. Bit of a sad story in that, but I'll put before that in another review. But yeah, Div's the one. They go to this tournament. Kind of a bit like Enter the Dragon, but not in martial arts, but in the sense of being a warrior. Very gruesome tournament, you know, people getting splattered, heads are getting cut off. There's a good scene where a guy gets turned to fucking mush. Beautiful, just beautiful. But yeah, it's not a bad film. There's a bit where they're inside, and there's a bit of rimming mud wrestling, so it's definitely ain't shy at the nudity sense. A lot of bonking in it, a lot of nudity, lots of tits, and it's pretty gruesome and violent. I like it. It's a good film. But all in all, I think Deathstalker is definitely an adult adventure film, and you want to see what they do to the bad guy at the end. But I don't want to spoil it, but it's definitely bloodthirsty, especially the uncensored one, which does have a lot more meat to the threads. I do think Deathstalker isn't a bad film. It does have a magical sword, and yeah, some of the effects are a bit naff, but for the budget, you know. There's one guy in it who's a bit of comic relief. You could have actually cut him out of the film because he was just there for laughs and giggles. But the original Deathstalker to me is a lot darker, a lot more meat to it. It gets more light-hearted when they did Deathstalker 2. But I think the original one, all in all, is a good film. It does have meat to the bone, it runs at a bitty good pace. DVD doesn't have a lot of features, you just get the original trailer and you get a few trailers to other warrior films. But all in all, look at that poster. Look how that fucking sells, unlike today's generic shit. And one thing I do like about the DVD is they've actually kept the original work from the original. Played by Adam Hill, if you can see the back cover there, who's the main star of the film. His magic sword definitely reminds me of He-Man when he pulls it out and you've got lightning coming out. It's an awesome film. It does get a lot of shit. People say it's a Conan the Barbarian rip-off, but in all fairness, back in the 80s and a bit of the early 90s, they was making a lot of films like that. I love the artwork in them. That's why I actually like Deathstalker, because I like it that much. I'm going to give it 4 swords because I think it's a fucking epic. I might even talk about Deathstalker 2 because a lot of people boo-hoo that, and you can very find that on DVD. And I do one day want to get the art cover on that, because the art cover of that sold it. We had the beautiful do, really sexy looking, art drawing, die, good body, mustardy, just a bit like me, got a lot of muscles, and that's a good one. It's a lot light-hearted than the original, and they do rip it off by showing a lot of footage from the original, as well as a lot of footage from other Warrior films. And the sword fight, they do use music from a lot of other Warrior films, but it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. I followed the 3rd and number 4. Fucking shit. Darbids. Just stick to Deathstalker 1, Deathstalker 2, if I'm sticking 2 fingers at you. Other than that, be safe and have a good one. See you later.